What is up? It is your boy Gamzilla coming at you with another gaming strategy video. This week, it's not really strategy. Nothing's really been strategy. I don't think I've posted a strategy video in like 2 years, but this is more of a timestamp just to show that I'm hip with the times. Playing a little bit of Auto Chess Mobile. This is a brand new release. Out for about 7 days. Released last Friday. If you guys have not played this game, I don't know, highly recommend it. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing a little timestamp here just to show that I was part of the bandwagon, part of the wave, and I'm still hip with it for the most part. What do you do in Dota Auto Chess is probably the name you might know it as, or Auto Chess Mobile. This was a mini game created on the Dota platform that has more or less exploded. It's kind of like a League of Legends type story, so they have now expanded and made their own title. I'll dive into a game. It's probably going to take me like a minute or so to find it at my rank, but and probably won't film the whole game. They take about 30 to 40 minutes. But essentially, what you do is, I'm going to say it's a hybrid of, I don't even know. I'm going to say a little bit of StarCraft. You have to build unit compositions, except that the units play out automatically. So it's a lot of resource management, more so than I think any other genre. You're playing a resource management game. You're gifted packs at the beginning of each round of 5 units. You select one of the 5 units, or you can cycle through the packs and get multiple packs. The whole goal is to build the biggest unit with the best synergy possible. Extremely addicting. Nothing else really to say there. I don't know. Let me go here real quick. I'm trying to, not 100% with the store quite yet. Alright, yeah, so you can see there's a whole bunch of different units, right? You got the Defector over here on the left side. He's a shaman and I don't even know what that is, like a Moonkin race or something like that. Let's dive into the game. Let's just see what it's all about, and I'll try and explain a little bit here as I get started. Anyways, brand new game. The hype is sweeping across the country. I encourage you to get in on the new mobile version. It is available on Android exclusively at this point in time. Let's see here. So like I said, you get a choice of 5 units. There's a prep time up in the top left, so you don't have unlimited time. You are playing against 8 other people at this point. You take your units, you place them on the board strategically. So unit position has a big part to do in this game as you progress up the ladder. And then, let's see, let's go to round 2, and you'll get a better idea of kind of what's happening here. So I selected my first unit, I put it out. I get the NPCs, that's the first round, so you fight against some computer characters to begin with. And as the rounds progress, you start playing against human opponents. So, no real synergies to start out with here. Normally in the beginning, you're just going for raw power. Anyone that's played the game probably is laughing at me because my team is not raw power at this point in time, but let's just get through some of the slower rounds here and see how this game progresses a little bit. So anyways, like I said, randomly generated unit packs between each round. So it's a little bit of knowing kind of what's going to happen in the future, what the best units are going to be for your specific composition, or if you get a really powerful unit in the early game, and I'll show you kind of how you power up your units as time progresses here. But if you get one really powerful unit in the early game, you're going to, like, part of the skill here is understanding what unit compositions are going to work well with that unit, what units you should be looking for, and then late game here, the whole goal is to essentially build a strong composition with high synergies to defeat the other players. So the screen I just pulled up here, again, it's just auto playing in the background. There's no need to micro or anything like that. So a big benefit as I get a little older in my gaming, it's a little simpler. But what you can see here on this screen is all 8 players in the game right now. I'm not going to take the time to break down, exactly what each unit comp they're running, but essentially what you're doing is you're monitoring what they're playing. It's a little bit of Magic the Gathering draft, if anyone is familiar with those, because you do not want to necessarily go into a unit composition that's heavily flooded. So a lot of people in the early game here are going to end up going goblins. I'm sure I'm going to fight some little goblin guy right now. Yep, without a doubt. And that's because goblins are very, very strong in the early game compositions. However, I do have some pretty powerful units at this point in time. Main one being that little demon guy you see in the center there, in the green tint. One of my favorite units in the game. So let's try and continue developing a strategy here. I mean, maybe I might just put up a 40-minute video. Who knows? We'll see how this round goes here. Let's see. So right now I have a demon synergy is kind of what I have. I also have a little bit of a warrior synergy, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the warrior unit as well. I'm going to go ahead and actually got 5 unit slots, so let's go ahead and just get all 5 in there. Alright, so yeah, each unit has a unique special ability. You've probably noticed the mana bars on the units at this point in time. So once a unit's mana bar is filled up, they execute their special attack. Every single unit in the game more or less has a special attack. Some of them are passive attacks, so they don't have any mana at all. And then the whole goal here, like I said, is to build up a synergistic comp. So it's a little slow in the early couple rounds. All right, here's an important thing. So you'll notice this guy's lit up bright yellow here, glaring. It's hard to miss. And he also gets a rank up button. So once you get 3 units of the same kind, you are able to power them up. Okay, and you can see my middle unit right there, dead center, is now a 2-star unit, implying that he is more powerful than his 1-star self. So like I said, it goes back to kind of what I was mentioning earlier, right? You have these different opponents going different strategies, so you want to kind of keep an eye out on what they're doing and what combos they're running for, because you don't want to necessarily force yourself to play a composition that's heavily crowded, which would prevent you from getting multiple of the same units, right? And the whole goal here, if you can get some multiples early in the game, you're going to fend off the offense of other players much, much more efficiently. Now, I do have a possibility of maybe going up to a 3-star at this point in time, and I always say it is never too early to start collecting the 3-stars. I also have a little bit of warrior synergy on my bench right now. I might substitute in the warriors as time goes on here, depending, strictly if I can get their powered up version. What you'll notice as you play this game is each tribe, I guess is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to stick to Magic the Gathering terms, but each tribe is, varying levels of power, right? So I mentioned that goblins were pretty powerful in the early game here, and then as time progresses, the goblins kind of fade out, and there's different synergies. So there's like rogues, hunters, warriors. There's literally like 6 or 7 different unit compositions that you can try and unravel as time folds on. Now, this pick right here, I'm going to educate you guys on the other factor, which is the money. And you can see that up in the top right. You can see I have 11 coins. So with the random nature of these packs, you're obviously going to get some packs that have nothing for you. So like I said, I'm going kind of demon composition right now with a little bit of backsplash warrior. I don't need any unit there, so I'm just going to hold off and save my money. Now, my money being at 11 is going to be important here, and I'll point it out at the end of the round. But essentially, you gain interest as well. So if you're sitting on, more money at the end of each round, you generate more money. Okay, so part of the strategy, I already said it. It's like a limited resource game, and you need to manage your resources to the best of your ability. Okay, so Again, just holding off when I'm at 10 mana, or excuse me, 10 coins, is going to be a benefit to me because I didn't necessarily need those units. And then if you saw it there, it glanced as a 1 gold interest there. So if I get up to 20, it'll be 2 gold interest, 30 gold, 3 gold interest. And you can kind of see the snowball effect taking place at that point in time. Right here, I did get another rank up, so I'm going to go ahead and actually substitute in my power units. At this point, I'm going to go for a warrior synergy. And up here in the top right, you can kind of see how things unfold. So now that I have 3 warriors, every single warrior that I have on the field now has 5 armor, obviously making them more of a force to be reckoned with, just a harder composition to deal with in general. And let's see if it's going to pay out here. My opponent has a couple 2-star units, so that's going to make it a little more difficult for me to squeak this through. And I do it anyways. Beautiful, beautiful job, team. So, like I said, it's a really beautiful game. I think, you know, it's anyone can play it, right? It's one of those simple to learn, hard to master type games. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to do here. I'll go ahead and continue the recording for anybody that wants to stick around. Sure, let's put up a 40-minute video on my channel that's been inactive for 2 years at this point in time. Why not? The hype is that real for Dota Auto Chess. So let's continue here. Like I said, US just released recently, making it so that you can absolutely jump on the hype train at this point in time. Again, it originated in the Dota minigames, and you know, just like League of Legends, or I don't even know why I said League of Legends when Defense of the Ancients is actually a hybrid. So this is like Inception level of gaming here. It's a mini game in a mini game of a mini game. So let's continue on with our demon theme. You can see each unit has varying power levels. There is an epic guy on my screen at this point. As you progress through the leveling system and time progresses in your game, you're going to unlock stronger and stronger units. And again, it goes back to kind of what I was saying in the forethought. So in the forethought of the round here, you want to be planning ahead. You kind of want to have an idea of what direction you're going to go. It's still early enough that I can kind of change directions if I really wanted to. But right now, I'm going to say demons are getting it done. Until this round. Dun, dun, dun. All right, and a small defeat. And then you can see your health is tracked on the left-hand side as well. I'm at 95 health. If you lose enough rounds, you lose more health. And eventually lose the game as your life total goes to 0. So this unit right here, extremely powerful. Fallen Witcher, got it at a 2-star. Before round 12, you can track your rounds up in the top left-hand corner. Let's see here. What do I want to do? Items drop as well. I don't think I really want to add too many items at this point in time. I personally like to save my items until I have a couple people in my composition that I know are going to stick around for a little bit. And then once I know that they're, you know, down for the cause and they're going to stay the whole term of the game, I'll start dumping a couple quick items on them. So like you can see, my Fallen Witcher is just wrecking shop. Super high DPS. They got a little DPS tracker down the bottom right, so you can kind of, as you play and learn, the first couple rounds, you'll probably just be randomly picking units. You'll be trying to go for 2 stars as soon as possible. However, as the game develops, you can kind of monitor your DPS charts and figure out what units are actually doing the heavy lifting for you. So at this point in time, I'm going to substitute back this guy. I'm going to put in the werewolf. I'm sorry, I want to use the official names for the official release, but a lot of these names and a lot of the content circling around Auto Chess Mobile at this point is in the Dota terminology. Werewolf being Lycan. You got this like Blade Master here who's called the Swordman. Anyone familiar with Dota might recognize some of these names. This is actually a Slardar as the Abyssal Guardian. And I think this is Nightmare, I believe, as the Fallen Witcher, the unit that I've been doting on here. Doting on the Dota copy. Lol. Alright. And, alright, as the game progresses here, I'm not seeing any units that I want. I'm at a critical point. If you look at my coins up in the top right, I'm at 28. So I'm actually going to go ahead and liquidate one of my units. Boom. I don't plan on going rogue synergy, so I'm just going to eliminate the rogue. You can sell your units back at any point in time, and again, it goes back to that economy management. I would much rather be holding the 30 gold coins at this point so that I can get the 3 gold interest. Going back to the player screen, let's check in and see what everyone else is doing. I do have one other people going Witcher Demon, and normally people are always kind of picking up one demon because you're allowed to have one in your synergy comp without too many negatives. Got a couple hunters, couple assassins. What I'm noticing here is no warriors, right? So I'm the only warrior in the game, which means I'm probably going to double down on my warrior strategy, all things considered. So let's go ahead and continue playing here. All right, I get another rank up unit. And one of the traps you really got to look out for here is forcing your unit compositions, right? You know, me just putting in that 2-star unit, some veterans might be looking at the game and saying, hey, maybe take that, you know, Argali Knight. That's a really strong unit. I believe that is Chen, the equivalent of Chen. And the reason why is because, like, in the early game, you can get tunnel vision, right? Like I was mentioning, those goblins were really good in the beginning of the game. Now, if you get stuck with goblins on round 30, there's a very good chance you're going to be losing that game because goblins quickly fall off. But you might be so tunnel visioned into saying, hey, I need to get these goblins leveled. You know, let's add, you know, X, Y, and Z items to them, make them more and more powerful. But really what you're doing is actually hurting yourself in the long run there. So I have built up a pretty decent item composition here, so I definitely want to get those items on some units, start utilizing those as soon as possible. Let's see here. I always say it's never too early to start going for 3-star units, but you know, I'm right on that 50 gold cusp right there, so I want to probably hold off on that for a little bit. Let's go ahead and put the Slardar. Let's get him epicked out. Let's put a little healing on my powerful unit. And then as you play, you're going to end up, you know, with your favorite compositions. I'd say the biggest learning curve to this game right now is understanding what units are going to be effective in the late game. Because again, as time progresses, units do kind of fall out of favor unless you can really ramp them up to a 3-star unit very early in the game. Again, not 100% guarantee. So I think it's very important in the early game for you to, I'm going to say, be consistent, right? You know, the first couple of rounds, I would, again, encourage you just to pick random units at that point in time. However, as time unfolds, you're going to want to have a consistent unit that you always go to. So my early game, like, I actually probably fall into warriors a little more often than I want to. But again, it's a composition that I'm familiar with. I know what units are going to be effective in the warrior composition, and I know how to essentially build a team around warriors. So a lot of my games start with a heavy warrior focus comp, and then slowly develop into the more advanced units that are offered to me by the game, right? And again, that's one of the main allures with this game is you are, you know, pretty much in a rogue-like setting. I'm not sure how many people on my channel understand what the roguelikes are, but that's a game genre where every single time you play, it's going to be a different outcome. Okay, so it's a little bit of StarCraft. Like I said, you want to develop a strong unit composition. You want to have the backbone team that's going to carry you where you need to be. But at that same time, you know, sorry, I lost my train of thought there because there's something else that I want to be doing, and I'm losing focus. That always happens when I do these live gameplays. It never plays out the way I necessarily want it to. But yeah, you want to build like a strong composition, and in StarCraft, you're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to go Viking, battleship every single time as Terran. But in this game, you don't have that luxury of saying, okay, I want this composition, and I'm going to get this composition. So a huge, huge, huge factor in the skill play here is understanding the different compositions, understanding what is actually available to you, and then how to develop those units. So you can see I just got my second 2-star, what's this guy called? Skybreaker. And I even collected another one after that. So how it is 3 units of the same type evolve into the next unit, right? So the fact that I already have a 2-star unit, he will evolve once I have 3 of the 2-star units. So that goes back to what I was saying I wanted to do here, which is this button on the right. It lets you respin units, and it lets you kind of cycle through multiple packs. So you are allowed to cycle through multiple packs, and now that I'm at kind of the gold limit here, I really should be cycling through these units as soon as possible and collecting as many 2-star units as I can, because people are going to get to a point here where they outpower me, most likely because they were actually paying attention to their units they were picking. So let's go ahead and level this guy up. This is a very powerful unit. I am going to go for a 3-star Fallen Witcher because that guy is extremely powerful as well. I should probably start picking up these Tusk champions. There's enough of these floating around. So one thing I haven't been able to fully verify in the game yet is if you are sharing units across these packs. From what I've read online, you are. So like I said, if people are passing up on specific units, you want to make sure that you get in there and you are picking the unit types that are not commonly chosen here. This was actually an extremely bad round. Let's see if I can't finish that off. Those guys were just beating me up there. I wasn't allowed to get my specials off. All right, came through. It was no problem. I'm actually going to go ahead and save up some gold. I lost my win streak. That's another thing. So, guys, again, super simple to pick up, super in depth as you start trying to plan your strategies and build your late game compositions. So I am hoping that I can get up to a 6 warrior composition. That would be ideal at this point in time. I'm going to go ahead and switch in this guy. He's a epic warrior. He is going to be a little bit more powerful than my 1-star uncommon warrior there. And I guess having lost my win streak, I should probably continue cycling units. I think I will. Let's see. Do I want to go for a 3-star? That guy, I don't know. The difference between going 1-star and 3-star units is actually quite substantial. It's pretty hard to get enough of the repeats to get a 3-star unit. So it's normally like the first couple units you pick are going to go 3-star, and then late game, as people are ignoring a specific subsection, you're allowed to sneak in there and start really leveling up some epic units at that point in time. Let's see what my composition has here. I don't really have any undead units. I am looking for a second fish that might help me in the late game here. But as you can see, my bench right now, which are these units that I have on reserve, it's getting quite full, and I'm not really close to making anything new or exciting with those units. So I think now is going to be a good time for me to kind of put my head down and start saving up for the next level. You'll notice there's this little XP button down in the bottom left. By clicking that button, it does allow you to level up on your units. Or not on your units, on your actual hero. And if you level up on your actual hero, you're allowed to place more units into the game, obviously making your team stronger by having 5 is bigger than 4. Some basic math will get us to that conclusion. So you always want to be looking out for opportunities to bring in the next layer of units. So let me see here. I am going to go ahead and liquidate this. I don't think I'm going to get enough werewolves, so I'm going to go ahead and put him away. I'm going to grab the swordsman just in case I can get a 2-star swordsman, continue my warrior composition, continue working towards that 6 warrior goal, which is currently my plan at this point in time. So let's see here. Again, the action's fun. I mean, it's fun to just watch your units. Again, unit positioning does have a big factor into it. Right now, I'm pretty much relying on power. You're going to want to arrange your units in the later game as your opponents are slowly eliminated. In the early part, you just want to set your units up so that your composition is going to be as strong as it's possibly able to be. All right, let's do some fancy footwork here. I'm going to go ahead and cycle through a couple packs, try and find a level up so that I can make some room on my bench. Perfect. I now have that next 2-star unit, so at this point I'm really ready to go ahead and sit on my gold for one more round and then boost my experience next round and go ahead and put that next unit in there. So right now I'm not too worried. I haven't seen any compositions that just outright destroy me. There was that one guy who had a 3-star rogue and he beat me, but I think that's strictly because he had the 3-star unit. Again, as the units progress, they become increasingly powerful. So it's always ideal to try and get your 3 stars up, obviously. Let's see here. I am coming to a point that I'm going to be getting pretty powerful here, so let's see. Let's go ahead and boost my levels a bit. And my game is extremely laggy, probably because of the recording. Really hope that clears itself up. Give it a second. All right, and as you can see, I was able to slip in that 8th unit, making myself just that much more powerful as the game progresses here. I have no idea why the performance issues are coming in. Hold up. All right. Moving forward, I had a successful round. As you can see, I'm still way ahead in the levels here. I'm pretty close to a couple 3-star units, so it's going to get to the point where I really want to be cycling through these units during the rounds here so that I can try and build up one of these 3-star masters here. Let's go ahead and keep cycling. Now that I've just leveled, my gold is pretty much irrelevant. I'm able to just focus on the flipping here. And here's a unit that I was looking for. Let's go ahead and pick him up. That's going to complete my 6 warrior composition. And I might just like power level through here and just sit through a couple rounds. Jeez, this game is really lagging behind. Okay. So here's a composition that whooped me. That was all rogue, which I think I should be able to solve here once I get up to 6 warrior. I'm going to have enough armor to beat the rogues, but there's also a specific way that I can arrange my characters, which I'm probably going to do here as well. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and rank you up. So I'm now just 3 Slardars away from a max Slardar. Let's see. Probably going to put my head down though and get my grind up here. So the good thing is I had a very good early game. If you notice on the left-hand side, there's already 2 people that have been eliminated from the round. I have enough health that if I really just started losing and just not beating anybody for a little bit, I'd be quite all right with that. I have an opportunity to kind of sit back, save up, lose a couple rounds, and really develop my team to where I want them to be here. So this guy is actually looking like probably the strongest in the game right now. Tashi's got 2 of the 3-star units. We'll go ahead. I haven't seen any of the units that I specifically want in quite some time. Let's go ahead and see kind of what they're up to. So you can see their gold count. Like I said, Tashi's up at the 50 gold cap. 50 gold is kind of where you max out. You stop earning additional interest after 50 gold. So the fact that he's at 50 gold with me and his team just beat me, that scares me, because that means that he's going to continue to develop interest. He is going to continue to get stronger and stronger units there. And I think what I need right now to really put this kind of game in my favor here is I'm going to have to rearrange my units a little bit and make it a little stronger against the other players involved here. I am recording this completely off my Google Pixel, so maybe I just I don't know. I put my phone charger in, and that was kind of messing with my lag. But now my phone's gonna die, so it's like I don't really know what the right move is here, but we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and put you here. Let's put you here. This is not the best composition for warriors or the best board setup, but I think it's going to be pretty strong because a lot of my opponents seem to be going rogue here. So we'll see how this goes. By bunching my units up, like when their rogues come at me, I'll be more grouped up, and it'll be harder for them to, essentially gank my lower level characters. People are starting to outpower me at this point. Again, it's because I've been focused so much on the economy, so that here in the late game I can really start spamming and going for my 3-star units, which I probably should do here. I'm actually going to level up one more time. And let's go ahead and put you out here. Let's put you over here, and let's put you in the back line. All right, cool. So I got my six warrior composition. I should probably shift him over to the right side is kind of what I'm thinking. We'll find out here. All right, and then every couple rounds you do play against these non-player characters. This is obviously not a human character that I'm fighting against. I really hope my phone lasts through this whole game. I'm on a red battery charge right now, so we'll see. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That's tough. Let's put you there. Let's go ahead and put you out. Let's put you out. Come on, don't lag, game. Alright, there you go. Got my first 3-star unit up there with a little bit of cycling. I did drop below the 50 gold benchmark there, but again, at this point, I need to start powering up my units. I need to get some 3-stars so that I can compete with these other players at this point. I do need to charge my phone. I'd rather have a laggy video than a video that dies like in the middle of it. So apologies if there's any video performance on your guys' side, but it's definitely my fault, so don't worry about it. And if you guys like the content, if you've made it this far in the video, absolutely give me a thumbs up. Throw me a comment in the chat. And if this is something that you want more of, then by all means, like, this community is just growing. It's just kind of in its infantile position here. So I think more content would definitely be for the benefit of the community there. So I got 2 rogues here in the last 2 characters are just 2 rogue classes. I did set up my composition differently. Like I said, I'm more bunched up so that the rogues cannot necessarily come in and just completely eliminate me there. And I think that it's going to work here in this round versus Yonel, but I've already mentioned that Tashi is going to be the villain of this episode. We're going to try and take him out here before the round is over. We're pretty even in gold count, in unit count, so it really will get to a point that pretty much comes down to the wire between us, so we'll see. Alright, I'm going to keep my gold above 50 so that I can have that strong economy. I need to be able to compete with him because that man is absolutely cycling through his units. He just got his third 3-star unit. Okay. 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 It's real. Let's see. I'm probably versus him right now, and we'll see how it goes. So his rogues jump over. They don't necessarily get good position. I do have a couple 1-star units, which is really dampening my style here. Yeah, I really just think that his 3-star units are going to outpower me until I can get my 3-star units, which I'm very close. I'm 1 unit away on 2 different units of getting 3-star. So let's see if we can't get one during this pause period. I do want the Tsunami Stalker. That goes back to the synergy aspect that I was presenting here. I really hope this video isn't laggy. I'm hoping that it's just on my side because I'm recording it. And Google is smart enough not to drop frames. Okay. Okay. I definitely want to get that Berserker. I'm going to sacrifice this and pick up that Berserker because good units are better than weak ones. And at this point, it's getting to the point that I'm just going to try and dump all of my gold here. I really need to get this going. And the lag is interfering with my ability to cycle. Yeah, this is not looking good. I just needed some 3-star units. This might be a 2nd place finish, guys. I'm not going to try and do something I can't. Okay, of course. There it is. At the absolute worst timing. All right, let's go ahead and dump you too. I'm sorry. Didn't want to do that, but the game lag. The game lag. All right. Boom. And yeah, that's going to be my first time getting that guy to 3-star. That's going to be amazing. It's weird that I could pick up more. I've never seen the ability to do that. Let's put him like, he needs to be out on the front line. Honestly, so does this guy. And I think you can fall back a little bit. Alright, so now I got a couple 3-stars to match his 3-stars. Let's see actually how this round goes this time. I still have a couple kind of weak 1-star units that I should be leveling up, but I just had a bad I don't know. I told you this guy was way ahead the whole game. I can't cycle my units fast enough. It's no excuse, but you know, in reality, a 2nd place finish here is nothing to be ashamed of. This game's pretty difficult and it's hard to navigate, so let's just continue trucking. We'll see how this goes. Maybe shifting them over might produce different results. And I'm on my way out, like I'm about to die, so at this point it's just like spend all your gold, build the best unit composition you can, and have no regrets. So I'm not really even watching what's going on, but I'm trying to find possibly one more 3-star unit before the game is over here. Man, he is just really strong. Yeah, there you go. I died. Alright, y'all. Alright. Tashi. I'm good enough to at least know who's going to beat me in the game, so I don't know. That was fun. I did outrank this game slightly, but that's because, again, it's really new. So the fact that I'm Bishop is not really telling. There's a ton of people that just switched over to the mobile version that are ranking up with me. So, you know, a Knight 5 could easily be, you know, a Bishop or Rook or something in the actual release. So anyways, guys, what turned out to be a 5-minute little preview clip of the game ended up being a 40-minute full run. It was pretty much a beginner tutorial. That's kind of my demographic. That's who I aim for right now. And then, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, put something down there in the bottom page saying you want more auto chess content, and I'll go ahead and try and make like a more structured, actual strategy video. I might, get back into it. Like I said, this game is that good. It's inspired me to turn on the webcam and project this out to the world. So again, it is Auto Chess Mobile. I'm going to go ahead and try and put a link down in the description and on how you can download it in the Play Store. It is a little difficult to find in the Play Store right now. But again, it is Auto Chess Mobile, and they're working on PC and iOS, from what I understand, for full-fledged releases. But go YouTube it for a little bit. You'll find a couple workarounds for pretty much any system that you're running right now. Again, Auto Chess Mobile, I said Clash of Clans was like my game of 2017. This is absolutely the game of 2019. So come on out, check it out, play it, mess up a couple rounds, and develop your skills, y'all. All right. As always, this is Gimpzilla signing off. I will see you all next time.